the counterfeit versus your God-ordained spouse. So nowadays, a lot of people, they like to talk about marriage. A lot of people, especially a lot of Christians, they're waiting on God to send them a spouse. They're waiting on God to bless them with a marriage. You have a lot of Christian men who want to be married. You have a lot of men to where they're asking God for a wife. They're seeking God for a wife. You have a lot of Christian women to where they're asking God to send them a husband. They're seeking God for a husband, right? Ain't nothing wrong with letting your request be known unto God. But you have to discern between a counterfeit that's coming from the enemy versus your God-ordained spouse, because they're not the same. You have to understand is that before God blesses you, oftentimes the enemy, he will try to send a counterfeit your way. This is to try and distract you off of what God is sending to you. This is trying to distract you from what God is getting ready to bring into your life. You see, the enemy, he's not just going to sit back and watch God just bless you. He's going to do everything in his power to try and destroy you. Everything in his power to try and deceive you before you get your God-ordained blessing. So, how can you identify between your God-ordained spouse versus a counterfeit? Really, to be honest, the easiest way to tell between your God-ordained spouse and a counterfeit, it's just the vibes that you get. For example, let's say you're a man, right? You meet this woman. She checks a lot of stuff that you like in a woman. But you have to understand is, how do you feel when you're around her? Do you feel peace? If you're a Christian, that means that God has given you some type of discernment. You see, discernment is key. You gotta have discernment in this walk with God, because you gotta be able to see through people. You need to ask God for discernment, because if you just have discernment, you can see what type of person this is. Is she a peaceful woman? Does she make me feel at peace? Does she have a good vibe about herself? Does she carry the presence of God? Does she have the Holy Spirit? How is she living? The same thing for you women who meet a man. Let's say you're a woman, right? You meet a man. Some people nowadays, they're quick to say they're a Christian. You might ask them, hey, are you a Christian? Or you a follower of Christ? And he or she might say yes, right? And then guess what? If you're a woman, if you're a man, and you're talking to this person, you're a woman talking to this man, right? How do you feel when you're talking to him? Do you get good vibes? Do you get peace? Or we're going to talk about other part of the spectrum. Do you get bad vibes? Do you feel anxious? Do you hear like a voice in your mind saying, run, he's not the one, run, he's danger? You see, God, this is very important. Because when you have discernment, you can't be tricked so easy. When you have discernment, you can see through people. Because I'm going to be honest nowadays. You have a lot of people who are using the terminology Christian. You can't just marry someone and just say, oh, they're Christian, I'm good, I can marry them. It don't work like that. Because the enemy knows if he sends a counterfeit your way and they say, oh, I'm not a follower of Christ, I'm not no Christian, I'm an atheist. Satan already knows that, they're already going to see that. You're already going to be like, please, this person's atheist. This is not what God got for me. But then he's going to send people your way to where they're going to profess Christ. They're going to profess Christ. They're going to say, oh, yeah, I'm a Christian, I go to church and all that. But this is where you need discernment from God. This is where you need to fast and pray and ask God for instructions. Because the enemy, he's very cunning. You're a real God-ordained spouse is going to bring you peace. They're going to bring you joy. They're going to make you feel good about yourself. It's like when you're around this person, you can't help but smile. You just feel like weight lift off your shoulders. They encourage you. They're walking in God's commandments. They're living holy and righteous. If you're a man you're waiting on God for your God-ordained wife, when you get your God-ordained wife, you're going to feel peace about you. You're going to be happy. You can't help but smile when you're around her. It's like you've known her your whole life. It's like your personalities just mixed together. Even if she's not everything that you've asked God for in life, like let's say she might not, if you're a man and you ask God for like a curvy woman and she comes skinny, she might not have the exact features that you ask for her, because God's going to give you what you need, not always what you want. Well, guess what? You're still going to feel happy around her. You're still going to feel joy. You're still going to be happy. You're going to have a peace about you. You're going to have a woman who's walking with God. You're going to have a woman to where she's not out there exposing her body, thirst trapping on the internet. She's not out there showing off her body, trying to get likes and clicks and trying to seek attention from other men. No, she's going to bring you peace. But then we're going to talk about this part of the spectrum. A woman who's a counterfeit. Now, this is where it comes in. Women who are counterfeits. They will make you look like it's your God-ordained spouse, but it's not really coming from God, it's coming from the enemy. At first, it might start off with this person liking you, it might seem good at first, right? But over time, you notice some red flags. This woman might start to get angry at you. She might start to cuss you out. She might start to just take away the peace that you once had, probably as a single man. Now you feel like you're in prison. You get bad vibes around her. She calls herself a so-called Christian, but over time, you know she's not really walking in God's commandments. She probably over there thirst trapping, seeking attention online, trying to make you jealous, trying to talk to other men to make you jealous. Those right there, counterfeit. Because your real God-ordained spouse is not going to do all of that. They're going to bring you peace. God's not going to send something to destroy you. He's going to send something to uplift you. Same thing for a woman. We're going to talk for women who are seeking God for a God-ordained husband. You're asking God for a husband, right? You meet a man. This man claims he's a Christian. Now, this is where counterfeit comes in. It might start off good, right? Then over time, you notice all these small patterns. You get bad vibes around the guy. You just feel something is off in your spirit. This guy starts to probably abuse you physically, emotionally. He says some stuff that just hurts your feelings. He says some stuff that just throws you off. You notice this man over time, you realize that he's not really walking God's commandments. He's over there obsessing more about the NBA game and NFL game more than walking with God. He's more focused on going to a club than he is walking with God. You see, guys, a real godly man, for you women who are seeking God for a husband, he's walking God's commandments. He has God over sports. He don't idolize sports. He got God over sports. He's focused on pleasing the Most High. He's seeking to be holy and righteous in front of God. He's keeping the commandments. He's seeking to do right by God. He's not having all these different women in his phones who are not his family members. He's not over having thirst trapping online and showing off his body trying to get the attention for other women. No. He don't have you in a rotation talk about he got 5 girlfriends. No. A real man of God not going to do that. But see, the counterfeit, they'll do stuff like that. And they'll give you nothing but destruction, and they'll take away your peace. You see, over time, you got to start to notice things about a person. If you see these little red flags, if you're, let's say you're with somebody, right? You're talking to him for like a few months. And you notice these red flags, and it just gets worse and worse. So do not sit back. Run. But let me tell you something. The main thing, like I said, is discernment. Because when you're a real follower of Christ, when you're deep in God, God going to give you discernment. And if you feel something is off in your spirit, run. Do not stay there. I don't care how nice someone seems. I don't care how someone just talks to you like they're nice and all that. If you feel something is off in your spirit, if you heard the Holy Spirit in your ear, like sometimes God's voice not going to always be loud and audible. Sometimes God just has that small, still voice, right? Sometimes God, you might just be sitting down, you might just be sitting in your living room one day. You might just came, from going out with the guy to like probably lunch or a restaurant. And if you hear a voice that says, run. If you're a man and you heard that voice in your mind, you talking to a woman, you heard that voice come in your mind constantly. Say, run. She's not the one. Stay away. You just get these bad vibes. Get out of it. God is warning you for a reason. God, you might not know what that person's like, but God knows what that person's like. He knows their true intentions. Do not stay. If you're constantly having bad dreams about a person, like some of the counterfeits that Satan brought my way, I've had bad dreams about them. If you're constantly having bad dreams about a person, that might be a sign from God saying, hey, stay away from this person. This person's not right. This person's not for you. Avoid at all costs. You have to get out. You have to get out of it. Because you have to understand what you're asking God for. When you're praying to God, the enemy, he is listening. Satan, he be right there listening. This is why it's sometimes important to speak in tongues, because Satan is right there sitting down listening. If you're saying as a woman, oh God, I love for my husband to be 6 feet tall. I love for him to, be earning like $90,000 or more per year. You think Satan not sitting there watching? And Satan's like, man, I'm about to raise up somebody from my Kmart darkness who fits those standards. I'm about to deceive this woman. If you're a man, and we're going to talk about the man side. If you're a man and you're saying, hey, God, please, I want me a wife who has this type of body. She's curvy. She has nice lips. She has nice hair. She has nice long hair. Satan, he might be sitting down watching you, listening to you, saying, man, I'm about to send an evil woman his way who got those same features. I'm about to destroy his life. I'm about to deceive him. This way you should always be in tune with the Spirit of God. This way you should always be fasting and pray. Do not just hop into a relationship. Fast. Ask God for instructions. Use the discernment that God gave you. If you don't feel peace or something feels off, get out of it. Because God has warned you for a reason. Sometimes people, they like to ignore that voice. They ignore those bad vibes and say, I'm just probably seeing things. I'm just probably not feeling something. I'm just probably, there's something probably wrong with me. No, it could be the Holy Spirit warning you. Do not ignore God, because God knows what's best for you. If God says this person is bad news, they're bad news. Trust me, you might think you know what you want, but God ultimately knows what's best for you. And that small voice, people ignoring those red flags, has led many people to an early grave. Do not play with it, because Satan's after your destiny. He's looking to destroy your whole life. He's looking to destroy what God got in store for you. Satan's looking to wreak havoc in your life, and you can't just sit back and allow him. You got to be on point. Don't allow the enemy to play tricks on you, because he will if you give him the chance. Always stay wise. Always stay sharp, because the enemy is looking to destroy many of God's people in these last days. Many of God's people have fell for a counterfeit, fell for these false so-called spouses they thought were coming from God, and it was coming from the enemy himself. Do not fall into the enemy's trap, because Satan is looking to destroy a lot of people nowadays. Don't let the enemy destroy you. Stay smart, stay keen, stay wise. If you're not sure about somebody, fast and pray. And a lot of times God will send one of his servants to warn you. If you're in a relationship that's not coming from God and you will follow Christ, God might send, you might just be standing at church one day, your pastor might just say, hey, Keisha, if you're a woman, or if you're a man, hey, John, you've been looking a little off lately. You might just be in the road and someone might just say, hey, you okay? I see like a little bit of darkness around you. That might be a sign that who you're with is bringing calamity your way. Who you're with is not coming from God. God will sometimes send his servants to warn you if you're not sure. Always stay in tune, because a lot of people nowadays, they got this mentality like, oh, it's my life. I could do what I want. Nobody could tell me nothing. Well, many people have said that, and they're saying in prison, they're saying in a chaotic relationship, they're saying in a household where they're not happy. You got people who are legally married, but yet they're unhappy. They back wishing they were single. You got people who are legally married, and yet they feel like they're in prison. They still feel lonely. How can you be married and you feel lonely? See what I'm saying? Guys, do not rush. I know sometimes waiting on God being single can be hard for some people, but look, take time to get close to God. Enjoy yourself. Sit down, watch a nice movie. Take yourself out to dinner at a nice restaurant. Go for a walk in park. Go for a run. Do not become desperate. Because when you become desperate, that's how the enemy catches you. Can you just be ignoring all the red flags? Say, oh my gosh, I'm in a relationship now. I can't believe it. Oh my gosh. Not even know the enemy might be just right there sitting back laughing at you. Stay smart and stay wise and stay always close to God. When you stay close to God, God will help you recognize danger and help you recognize when something is coming from him. But nevertheless, guys, if you like this video, give it a like, share it, subscribe, and have a blessed day.